Imagine a humble radio technician in Laredo, Texas, spending his days troubleshooting vacuum tubes and soldering circuits. He realizes something profound. You don't fix a distorted image on a television by painting the glass screen. You go behind it, into the wiring. This man was Jose Silva, and he spent the next few decades proving that the human mind is the ultimate broadcasting station. We aren't just observers of reality, we are its architects. Today, we're diving into the idea that reality is not a fixed, solid block, but a malleable substance that has no choice but to obey the commands of a focused mind.
It's a provocative start. Silva's transition from electronics to the mechanics of the subconscious is fascinating because he treated the brain like a piece of hardware. He argued that most people are trapped in the world of effects, reacting to their bank accounts, their health, or their relationships as if these things are final. In his view, these are just the screen of the television. To change the picture, you have to access the world of causes, which he claimed is purely mental and subjective, yet more real than the chair you're sitting in right now.
And that's where the technical instructions come in. He wasn't interested in passive hope, which he bluntly called the frequency of losers. He focused on brain frequencies. Most of us live in beta, 14 to 21 cycles per second. It's the state of logic, stress, and external action. But Silva argued you can't program a computer while the hard drive is spinning at max speed with a magnet against it. You have to drop into alpha, 7 to 14 cycles, where the mind is both input and output. This is the workshop where the source code of your life is written.
From a neurological perspective, this isn't entirely science fiction. We know that alpha waves are associated with relaxed alertness and heightened neuroplasticity. However, where mainstream science often pauses, Silva leapt. He introduced dynamic mental control, using techniques like the three-finger anchor. By joining the thumb, index, and middle fingers while in a deep state, you're essentially creating a biological trigger. It's a Pavlovian response for the subconscious, allowing you to drop into a state of genius even in the middle of a high-stress boardroom meeting.
He also talked about the mental screen. He taught people to visualize problems in a blue frame and solutions in a white frame, but with a twist. You can't just watch it like a movie. You have to step inside. You have to feel the temperature of the air, hear the sound of the table when you tap it. Why? Because the nervous system has no eyes. It only reacts to the sensory data provided by the brain. When you simulate the experience with full sensory input in alpha, the brain releases the actual chemistry of that success. The quantum field, as he would argue, then responds to that chemical signal.
Now, a quantum physicist might raise an eyebrow there. While the observer effect in quantum mechanics suggests that the act of measurement influences a particle's state, scaling that up to making reality obey is a massive leap. Skeptics would argue this is largely the placebo effect or confirmation bias at work. If you prime your brain to see success, you'll naturally notice more opportunities. But Silva's followers would counter that the coincidences become too frequent and too specific to be mere statistics. They see it as a literal reorganization of matter.
One of his most out-there techniques is the glass of water. Before bed, you drink half a glass while holding a specific intention, then drink the rest in the morning to find the solution. It sounds like folklore, but it's actually a way of programming the subconscious to work through the theta and delta states of sleep. It's a search request sent to the universal database. When the answer arrives, whether through a dream, a sudden insight, or a chance phone call, you're trained to recognize it as the result of your programming.
It's also about the aggressive guardianship of the mind. Silva was adamant about the electrochemical power of words. Saying, "This job makes me sick," is a literal command to the subconscious to lower your immune system. He used the cancel-cancel technique to immediately replace destructive thoughts with desired truths. Psychologically, this is akin to cognitive behavioral therapy, breaking old neural highways and paving new ones. He believed that even if it feels fake at first, you are building the wires that will eventually carry the current of a new reality.
The implications are staggering. If Silva is right, we've been using the most advanced equipment in the universe as a mere paperweight. He didn't want followers. He wanted masters of their own lives. He challenged people to test him, to apply the techniques, and to watch the physical world bend. Whether it's through the three-finger anchor or the holographic mental screen, the message is clear. The material world is soft clay, and it is waiting for your imprint.
It shifts the burden of responsibility entirely onto the individual. You can no longer blame the world of effects for your circumstances. If the projector is showing a film of scarcity, you are the one holding the reel. It's a call to move from being a slave to your senses to being a commander of the unseen energy that precedes all form.
The question is no longer whether the mind has power, but whether you have the courage to stop being a spectator in your own life. As Silva would say, start today, program your mind, and witness the moment the universe finally realizes it has no choice but to bend to your will.
You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop, and it is time you started moving the tides.